Mr. President, in a moment, we will begin the process of confirming 4 outstanding new judges to the bench in the state of Missouri. This has been a long road for my state. We've waited a long time to have these 4 vacancies filled, and I'm absolutely delighted that in just a few moments, we will begin to fill them. And I want to thank President Trump for nominating 4 truly outstanding individuals to these roles. Josh Devine, who is the current Solicitor General of the state of Missouri, and who I had the privilege of having served on my staff as my chief counsel, among other roles, for a number of years. Judge Chris Stevens, who is currently serving the Missouri State Courts with distinction. Maria Lanahan, who is serving the Missouri Attorney General's office even now, and Zachary Bluestone, who is a federal prosecutor in the state of Missouri. Each of these 4 individuals will soon take his or her place on the federal bench, and I am confident will be a great credit not just to my state, but to the United States, where I hope they will serve as federal judges for a very long time to come. I want to say just a brief word about each of them. I want to start with Josh Devine, who we'll be voting on here just shortly. Josh currently serves as Missouri Solicitor General, and before that, as I said, he served here in the Senate as my chief counsel. In fact, I've had the opportunity to work with Josh on a number of occasions. I first hired him to the Missouri Attorney General's office when I was Attorney General, and he was just a young deputy. He served there, then came to the Senate and served on my staff, then clerked at the United States Supreme Court, then went back here to the Senate as my chief counsel, and then back to the state of Missouri. Josh's record as Solicitor General in Missouri is truly exceptional. He has argued, litigated numerous cases in our state courts and federal courts, from the trial court level all the way to the United States Supreme Court. And here's the thing that really strikes me about Josh's record. If you total up his courtroom victories for Missouri, the dollar amounts that he has won on behalf of the state of Missouri, you won't believe the total. It's $725 billion in successful judgments on behalf of the people of Missouri. That includes a successful lawsuit against the Chinese Communist Party for their role in the COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent cover-up and the many harms that it caused to the people of Missouri. This is a very successful litigator. This is a very successful trial lawyer, a very successful appellate lawyer, and he is going to make an absolutely outstanding judge on the federal bench for the state of Missouri. I want to share just one personal story about Josh that I think illustrates his character more even than his win record does. You know, just a few years ago, in the midst of an intense period of work for the state of Missouri, Josh and his family were taking a brief vacation, and he was catastrophically injured in a skiing accident that left him unable to walk. In fact, for a number of days, doctors feared for his life. I remember getting the call, people saying that, Josh Devine has been seriously injured. We don't know if he's going to live. He lived, thank God, and then they told him, you may or may not walk again. Do you know, over a period of months that followed, Josh set himself to regaining with 100% confidence his ability to walk. And I remember talking to him while he was yet in intensive care and then in the hospital for a long period of time, and seeing the pictures of him propped up there in his bed, already back to work for the state of Missouri. I mean, his briefs around him, his laptop in front of him, writing briefs, on calls, trying to direct motions, argue them if possible over the phone. It was incredible. And what he did then for a period of months after that was he taught himself to walk again. You'll see him, I'm sure, walking in and out of the courthouse soon in his new role on the bench. He has regained with 100% capacity his ability to walk, and it really is a testament to his determination, to his grit, to his faith, and also to his family. Who really deserves the praise here is his exceptional wife, Elizabeth, mother of 6 children with Josh. I think a 7th is on the way. They are an incredible family. They are an incredible couple. They have already served the state of Missouri with distinction, and I know Josh is going to continue to serve the state with distinction for years to come. Judge Chris Stevens is such an exceptional jurist, and I know that my good friend and colleague, Senator Schmitt, will have more to say about him in just a moment. They work very closely together, and Judge Stevens, as I said, is already serving the state with distinction on the state bench. We look forward to having him on the federal bench for many years to come. And Maria Lanahan and Zach Bluestone both have rendered distinguished service to the state of Missouri. In Maria's case, in the Missouri Attorney General's offices, arguing cases for the state, winning judgments for the state. And Zach Bluestone, a federal prosecutor who has been prosecuting violent crimes, going after child sex abusers, and taking the worst of the worst off of our streets in the state of Missouri. He's an exceptional federal prosecutor. He's going to be an exceptional federal judge. As we come to the end of what's been a long road, to be honest, for these judicial nominations in the state of Missouri, I just couldn't be more grateful. And I want to end how I began, by thanking President Trump for his exceptional leadership, thanking him for choosing these 4 outstanding individuals who I know are going to make the state of Missouri proud. They're going to make the United States proud. And in just a few minutes here, I look forward to casting the first vote to begin this process, to seeing them on the federal bench. I yield the floor.
Mr. President.
The other senator from Missouri.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask for unanimous consent to speak up to 5 minutes before the scheduled roll call.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to echo the comments from Senator Hawley. This is a very proud day for the state of Missouri, and significant that the first district court judges that are coming before this body under President Trump's second term in office will be filling the bench, the 4 vacancies in the Eastern District of Missouri: Josh Devine, Chris Stevens, Maria Lanahan, Zach Bluestone. I want to talk about Mr. Devine and Mr. Stevens briefly here, both of which worked in the office when I was Attorney General. Josh, very briefly, he came on originally with Senator Hawley. But Chris Stevens, I'll talk about him first. You know, when you are in a role like Attorney General, you need a lot of good people around you, and you have a core team. And for me, that process, you kind of rely on a lot of social capital over the years, and you ask around. You have some relationships, but you have people who then refer you to people, and you go through an interview process. And Chris Stevens was a name that just kept coming up, and I didn't know Chris before that. I knew his reputation just a little bit. But when he and I got together and visited about the vision for what we wanted to do with the office, we just instantly clicked. He's an incredible family man, a devout Catholic. His wife, Lee, they have great kids. He's a wonderful father. And before he came to my office, he was probably one of the more decorated and storied criminal prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's Office in generations. I mean, if there was a tough criminal case, Chris Stevens was the guy. And so I brought him in originally as our criminal chief. He later, when Tom Albus, who was my first assistant, went on to become a judge, Chris Stevens then took that first assistant role. And what I was always impressed by Chris was not only just his work ethic, but his willingness to work with younger lawyers, to be a mentor. His legal acumen is beyond reproach. He's a brilliant guy. He's going to do an incredible job on that court. And I'm just so proud for him and his family today as this vote happens, and he will ascend to that really important role, a lifetime appointment, and will do the business of the people on that bench. And we need more people like Chris Stevens, so it's really a special day. Josh Devine, Senator Hawley mentioned, he's a very, very smart guy. He's done a great job in the Solicitor General's office with the current Attorney General, Andrew Bailey. He will do a phenomenal job on the bench. We're really lucky to have such a deep legal bench in the state of Missouri. As these nominees came forward, we just, an embarrassment of riches in Missouri. I think that's true, and the first 2 of them will be voted on here today. And as I mentioned, Maria Lanahan and Zach Bluestone will come after that. So I just want to wish congratulations to them as this vote takes place, and I can't recommend both of them more strongly. And again, it's a real honor for the state of Missouri to have these 2 incredible jurists before this body for their confirmation vote. With that, Mr. President, I yield the floor.